Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and wow, we got an absolutely magnificent show coming your way today. We're going to learn a lot about technology. We're going to learn a lot about podcasting, and you're going to learn a lot about this absolutely fantastic guest that we got coming on the show today. So I say, just sit back, grab you about 5 or 6 bags of popcorn and sit back and learn, and because it's going to be an exciting show. But before we do this, I want to lock the radio, television, live streaming networks all in at the same time. So Todd, let's do it.
It's Your Life is sponsored by James J.C. Cooley.
Life is a series of circles and cycles, phases and stages. These are your experiences that teach you the lessons of life. You can either ignore them or embrace them. Welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. James is a motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the James Cooley Foundation. James is here to equip you to strive for greatness and to overcome adversity. It's time to get equipped today for the challenges of tomorrow. Now, here's the host of It's Your Life, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and wow, I'm excited about today's show. I'm excited about today's show. I'm excited about this guest. Hey, Todd, this guest is going to bring it today, man. She's going to teach all of us something.
Right, I'm ready for it. It's right in my field, too. I love learning about podcasts and technology, so here we go.
Here we go. So, I can't even start a show without bringing on the executive producer who is responsible for putting together all of these shows, and she is absolutely amazing. So how you doing, Dr. Michelle Cool? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's cold here. What is it? Did it go up? Did it go past 12 degrees?
I think we're still sitting on about 13 degrees here.
I don't know. My computer says 27. I don't know. It feels less than that. But no, I'm doing great. We've had this guest on this show before, but she has a lot of knowledge about so many things. And we cannot wait to have a conversation with her.
Yeah, so wherever you're watching this at, was you watching on the 360 television, Roku TV, Amazon TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, StreamYard, et cetera, 555 other platforms. Welcome to the show. If you want to be part of the show, all you do is go to the comments, or you can pick up the phone and dial 1-877. I forgot what that number is, Todd, but I'm going to get the number. I'll get the number to you, but you can also call into the radio station, and we'll make sure that we get you on. Michelle, can you please introduce the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely wonderful guest?
Oh, most definitely. So the title of today's show is How AI and BlockChain Are Revolutionizing Podcasting. And we're having a conversation with entrepreneur, producer, host, award-winning journalist, and CEO founder of Podopolo, Melinda Wittstock. And we're going to talk about the impact of artificial intelligence, AI on podcasting, as well as the impact of blockchain on podcasting. So let me just summarize a little bit about our guest today. She's the CEO and founder of Podopolo, the AI-powered interactive podcast app, and creator marketplace revolutionizing podcast discovery and discussion and making podcasting profitable for creators. She's a 5-time serial entrepreneur and visionary innovator in all things media and tech and conscious leader. She also hosts the fastest growing Wings of Inspired Business podcast, named by Entrepreneur Magazine as number 8 of 20 of the top business podcasts for 2020. The Wings mission is to lift as we climb, helping female founders leverage their feminine power and collaborate to change the game of business and succeed without trade-off, guilt, or apology. She is so much more. She's a spiritual practitioner of meditation, yoga, and gratitude. She is passionate about encouraging conscious leadership and evolved entrepreneurship using business as a canvas to transform lives and solve global challenges. Welcome back to the show, Melinda Wittstock.
Yeah, it's so good to be here, James and Michelle. Thank you so much. I feel so welcome, and I'm excited to talk about all of this with you both. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Melinda. It's always a pleasure having you on because we learn so much. Our audience learns so much. And so we are excited to have you on today to discuss all of the latest things that are out there, discuss your great company, and to get a better understanding of what's going on as technology evolves on a regular basis. Yes. Yeah, so Melinda, can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about you, just in case they didn't wasn't watching the last show that you was on, and tell them a little bit where you grew up, where you at right now, and what make you tick.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm a serial entrepreneur. Way back when my kids were little, they thought that meant I ran the Cheerios company. I had to explain what serial meant, which means, creating a business, exiting that business, creating the next business, etc. They've all been at the intersection of media and technology. And in fact, all my previous businesses to me feel like a lab for this one, because they've all innovated around content, whether making it social or interactive or personalized, and also the algorithms and the beginnings of unsupervised machine learning, which has become AI and other such technologies. And so I think, originally when I was a small kid, I guess I must have had the entrepreneurial bug, because I don't know to this day what possessed me, but I went around with my black lab as a 6-year-old demanding prepayment for my show. And my show involved running through the sprinkler, costume changes, music, all the things. So, but somehow I knew to demand the prepayment. So that's a little bit about me.
Oh yeah, yeah. So tell our audience where you're at. Which city? I think you're in the beautiful city
Yeah,
of
yeah.
San Diego.
So I'm in Santa Monica, California, where here it's cold by Santa Monica standards at a very chilly 65 degrees. So don't feel sorry for me. I know the rest of the country, I was hearing you earlier talking about how cold it is where you are. So, but believe it or not, you see all these people in Santa Monica walking around with these big jackets and things, because I think our body temperatures, I don't know. And it's hilarious because I'm originally from Toronto in Canada, so I should be used to the cold, but like I've just become very acclimatized here.
Yeah, we was in California. Well, we live in Temecula as well as Dallas, and we were there the other day, and it was a little warmer than what it is here, but it's cold there as well.
Yeah.
So, Melissa, I always like to throw a wrench. Melinda, I always like to throw a wrench in the beginning. You such an entrepreneur and doing all these great things. Can you tell if you had to describe yourself with one adjective, what would that be and why?
Oh gosh, one adjective to describe me: innovative. I hope that's an adjective.
I tell them why.
Why? Because I can't help myself. I see problem. I mean, I'm a really, another word to describe me would be visionary. I see things with a pattern recognition brain that helps me put concepts, discrete concepts that you wouldn't normally think of combining together in new ways. It allows me to spot trends or what's coming often ahead of other people. And I'm old enough now to actually have some credibility in that statement, because it always does seem to come through. I remember way back in one of my earlier startups in 2010, 2011, where we were bleeding edge because we'd figured out a way to assess the accuracy and reliability of user-generated content. And this is pre-Instagram. It was the early days of social media. And we were solving the fake news problem really before anyone really understood there was a problem. And I could kind of see the direction social media was going to go, how it kind of, in effect, is wiring our brains for outrage and dividing people rather than bringing them together, which was the original idea of social media. So that's an example of that kind of visionary innovation. So like any entrepreneur, particularly ones that really want to, I don't know, Steve Jobs, as he says, make a dent in the universe, that type of entrepreneur, we're always looking for spotting problems and innovative ways to solve them. And in my case, in a very conscious way, because I'm also a social impact entrepreneur, I believe that the best businesses are actually consciously trying to do something good for our society, not just, get to exit quickly at any cost or such, right? So that's also a very important factor in terms of who I am and why I do what I do.
Wow. You are the founder and CEO of just a wonderful company, Podopolo's. We got about 2 minutes before the break, but can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about that? How did you birth this, and what is your vision?
Okay, well, I became a podcaster in 2017, and with all my entrepreneur experience, marketing experience, technology experience, business experience, it was still difficult to be discovered, grow an audience, let alone monetize content as a podcaster. And that was the first spark, because I realized it was a structural problem across the industry that results now in 98% of podcasters not making money from podcasting, which seems unfair to me, seeing as it's the fastest growing media of all time. And meanwhile, fans were being shortchanged too, because it's very difficult for them to discover new podcasts, let alone interact and have a conversation easily about those podcasts. So Podopolo solves those problems and many more using technology, AI, and now coming soon, BlockChain. I'll get into how all that works, but it's an app, it's a mobile app, it's free on both app stores, and it's got 6 million podcasts, the right ones just for you.
So we're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back. We're going to pick it up, and hopefully this small technical difficulty that we are having right now, we're cleaning up. So you want to be part of the show, all you have to do is just go to the platform that you're watching this on and listen to us on, or pick up that phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do.
I've seen a smile convey I love you. I'm proud of who you are, the one that keeps us close when we're apart. Walking from the dark of all that we've been through. It seems that there might be a way to leave behind the loneliness we've known and live again life of many.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And, the first segment is always getting a chance to know my guests, just kind of break the ice a little bit and give our viewers and our listeners an opportunity to, just say, hey, I like this. I understand this. But now it's time. It's time to dive into the meat of everything. And this young lady right here is bringing it. She's doing so many wonderful things. And I want to get an opportunity to learn about some of these things. So wherever you're watching the show at, all you do is go to the comments and just ask any questions. I'll be part of the show. I'll pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. And I promise you, we'll get you in. We will get you an answer. Melinda. So we were talking about Podopolo. We were talking about I know you call that your baby. So since the last time I had you on the show, what are some of the changes that you all have uncovered and implemented? I know you talked about AI and blockchain and et cetera. Let's dive deep into that. What exactly is that?
Okay, so if you could imagine for a moment, we have 6 million podcasts on Podopolo, all automatically ingested through their RSS feeds. That's the way podcasts are distributed. So that's hundreds of millions of episodes in every language, every genre, audio and video. And that's a lot of content. So how does a fan find the perfect podcast for them? And how does a podcaster find the perfect audience to engage and grow and such for their podcast? So you could think of our AI at a high level as a matchmaker that's matching the right audiences to the right podcasts for them, for their shared interests, with their friends, their circumstance, etc. So technically, the AI is able to go into these hundreds of millions of podcast episodes, any given day, any given hour, any given minute, and pretty much instantaneously transcribe them. And in the act of transcribing them, it's able to actually analyze what's going on each of those episodes from a topical perspective. So for instance, the keywords, the key phrases, even the sentiment of the speakers, the context of what they're talking about, all these sorts of things. Now, you wonder, why would we bother to do that? Well, here are all the applications that derive from something like that. And there are many. So the first is really the discovery of podcasts. So Power is a very supercharged recommendation engine that gets to know not only what you say you're interested in, but what you're actually listening to, and it can really get very, very precise about making sure you're discovering, as a fan, the perfect podcast for you. And again, for the podcaster, that the podcast is being discovered by essentially a pre-qualified audience, people who absolutely would want to listen or watch that podcast if they knew about it. The other thing it really powers is supercharged search capability, which you'll start to see on the app in short order, really in the next several weeks, where it's possible to search topically for a podcast or I mean, right now, search engines are incredibly bad at podcasts. So this is something that our AI really changes. Beyond those things, the AI and that transcription allows for monetization because it's going to tell an advertiser exactly where to place their ad most effectively around contextual content that makes sense for what the ad is about and where best to place it in a show, guaranteeing the advertiser not only brand safety, that their ad, they're not going to be embarrassed. Their ad is placed in content that may or may not be questionable, for their brand, but also the most effective place to put that ad so that it's going to have higher conversions. And this, in fact, not only helps the advertiser, but it really helps the podcaster, because even podcasters with a smaller audience, when they have that data transparently about what's going on, both topically and who's actually listening to their show, they can qualify for advertising in a way that you don't need large numbers to do. And the final application is really the generative thing. So from that transcript, imagine being able to instantly generate a really great sticky LinkedIn post or social media post, or the perfect title for your podcast, or automatically generate the show notes and all the marketing materials for your podcast. And last but not least, on the app itself, we have a way that anyone can create a short clip of a podcast and share with their friends, not only on the app, but on social media more broadly. Those clips are going to start to be automatically generated. So any podcaster will have these automatic, really juicy 30-second, 45-second, 60-second audio or video bites that automatically go out to exactly the audience that they want to target. So that's the power of it, and it's very powerful.
Wow, it sounds very powerful, especially the way that you mentioned the clips, because there's software out there you already know called Opus, software that will compress and combine and separate certain clips. All of this is new to me since last time you and I talked.
It is. We're always innovating. And James, the innovation never ends, and you should see how big our technical roadmap is, So I've learned this as an entrepreneur. No matter how far you get in executing all the things, there's always more things to do. Like it's a journey, it's not a destination, it's never over. And the pace of technological change right now makes it very, very exciting, because there's just so much that's possible that wasn't possible before.
Yeah, so you mentioned AI, synthetic voice, etc. For some of the podcasters that are listening to the show are probably eyes booked just like mine. They're trying to figure out, how do they go about being part of this? What's the cost? What's the benefit?
Okay, so super easy. So if you have a podcast right now, it's automatically on Podopolo. So the only thing you're going to want to do is download the app and kind of claim it as yours, right? It'll ask you to authenticate currently your RSS feed and the email associated with it, so we know that you actually own that content. And once you've done that, you can upgrade to a free offer that allows you all manner of benefits. I mean, not only extra juice in the recommendation engine to get more discovered, but really deep audience insights about who's listening to your podcast, how they're listening, where you share overlap audiences, say with other podcasts, in case you wish to cross promote. And it also starts unlocking advertising revenue for you as well. And that's free. And then there are a number of different upgrades coming, like to get up, there are monthly packages that would allow you to get a lot of the generative AI tools, for instance, a higher share of the ad revenue, more detailed, actionable analytics, and also a really cool BlockChain solution that we're excited to give you a little sneak peek on. That's going to be launching this quarter, and it's very, very exciting on a number of levels. One around fan engagement, the other around data, and the other around protecting the ownership of your content in a generative AI world. So very easy to get going with Podopolo, super, super simple. Just download the app and follow the prompts and your podcast is there and you start unlocking the benefits of the free offer. And when it's time or you think it's right for your podcast to take advantage of extra marketing juice, extra tools, extra deeper analytics, more ad revenue, you can always upgrade.
Okay, so a case in point, and I just use my podcast for example. Say if I wanted to put Issue Life radio podcast on Podopolo's, and I wanted to start taking advantage of all of this. Do you have people in the background to help connect you up? How will people know how to upload the videos? RSS.
You don't have to do anything. You don't have to upload anything because if you have an RSS feed, most podcasts, they're on a hosting platform or even on YouTube now offers the chance to create an RSS feed out of your YouTube video. So whatever it is, if you have that RSS feed, it's automatically on Podopolo. So you don't have to upload anything. I mean, it's already there. The only thing you have to do is authenticate your ownership of the podcast.
So how do you get an RSS feed?
RSS feeds are created by the hosting company that's hosting the podcast, right? And so podcasters generally upload their audio files to a podcast hosting platform. And then from there, the RSS feed is generated and it's pointed out to all the directories, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, Pandora, Amazon Music, Podopolo, all the different platforms. And so that RSS feed is, so once that work is done, like you don't have to repeat that work. That work is already done by your hosting platform.
So case in point, say I'm a hosting platform. And I don't have an RSS feed. Can I go and buy one or create one, or how that's done?
Yeah, so generally, the hosting platforms do that with you. So say, for instance, if you're going to take this show right now, which is going out live, but you downloaded the audio and or video file of it, and you had a hosting, there's a lot of hosting deals now that are super cheap. It would generate the RSS feed, and that RSS feed would automatically manifest your podcast on every podcast platform known to man, including Podopolo.
I'll tell you what, hold that thought. We're going to take a station break.
Okay.
We're going to take a station break, but this is exciting. And podcasters out there, I told you she was going to bring it. And we're not even there yet. So I tell you, if you want to be part of this conversation with this absolutely fantastic guest, all you have to do is just go to the platform that you're on, ask any question that you might have, or pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Remember, it's your life. And we'll see you shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your
Dr. James J.C. Cooley from the United States of America, and I am here to just say, first of all, I'm so happy and honored to be to be in the Coffee Book 2023, Unified Brain Z and the other organizations. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this collection. Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and wow, learned a whole lot from that last segment. And Podopolo's seems like it's a great platform to be on. So, if you are listening to Melinda, you might want to do your research and look it up and jump on that platform. It sounds like an absolutely fantastic deal, especially the revolutionary portion of it. And I am going to look deeper and deeper into this because I got to be a part of that. I so and so I tell you, Melinda, I said on air, I would love for you to set a meeting up with your team and myself so that we can get an opportunity to talk a little bit more about this. I think his name is Rob.
Yeah, Rob Actis is our podcast evangelist, and he also produces, because Podopolo also has an arm that produces podcasts for major brands. And so Rob is an amazing creative talent as well. So Rob Actis, our podcast evangelist, and he is the interface with most of our podcasters, but including me too, because I like to really understand what's always going on with our customers and really understand, what are the biggest problems or challenges they're having? How can we continue to get better and better and better always at solving them? And we have an approach where we like to kind of co-create with our customers. We have our hypotheses of like what is and what we know to be really pernicious kind of issues that keep 98% of podcasters from making money from podcasting, and really want to change that number and democratize this entire ecosystem. And all podcasters have certain frustrations about how difficult it is to navigate that system, aside from struggling to make money from it. It's hard to be discovered. It's hard to engage fans. And most of all, it's time consuming and overwhelming, because it's one thing to create a podcast and put all the effort into creating this great content, but it's a whole other thing to be able to market it effectively. And so a lot of people launch podcasts absolutely not knowing that really it's sort of like they're launching a product, they're launching a business, and there's a whole bunch of business things and marketing things and technology things that need to be mastered to succeed. So if we can take a lot of that headache and time-consuming overwhelm off the podcasters, the podcasters don't have to worry about any of that stuff, and they can just worry about creating great content. And we'll find the audience for them. We'll find the money for them. And that's what this platform is really architected to do. So
since last time I chatted with you, I've become a network president, one of the network presidents of E360. So I have a lot of hosts under me. And so it's important that I offer every opportunity for them to expand their shows. And I've been a part of Podopolo for a while. I've been probably set back a little bit because I haven't been following you all, but certainly want to engage a little bit more and potentially get them into the process, because before so we're going to have 20, 30, 40 hosts. And
that's amazing. Well, everybody is welcome.
And so, but AI, analyticals, etc. How do you all go about tracking that. First of all, can you tell our viewers and listeners what that is?
Yeah.
Analytical,
So
and how this helps the podcaster and understand.
So at a high level, it's really helping that podcast be more easily discovered by people that are interested in their content. Because we know the minute a podcast is published, our AI is able to go into that audio or video feed and transcribe it and instantly analyze that transcript to isolate topics, keywords, key phrases, time codes, sentiment of speakers, the actual speakers. When the conversation is segueing into something else, it generates captions, generates audio and video clips. It does a whole bunch of different things. Now, with that information, coupled with what we know about the audience, like who's actually listening, based on not only what they tell us about themselves, like their interests and stuff. When you first sign up for the app, it'll say, what kind of podcast do you like? And you're going to say, I like sports, I like entrepreneurship, or I like knitting. I mean, true crime, I don't know, whatever it's going to be, right? And it will suggest podcasts for you. And based on how you're listening, it learns more and more about you. And the matchmaking thing is really matching that audience, what we know about the audience to what we know about the topic. And the topical analysis is really important, not only for that generative content that can be generative AI that's created as a result of that, like all your marketing materials around your podcast episode and whatnot for social and all these things, your show notes, the SEO kind of ideal title so you can be discovered better on Google, like whatever it is, it generates all of that. But at the same time, actually understanding what's being discussed at any given moment on a podcast allows for better matchmaking between the podcast and relevant advertisers. Now, that's important because if you've ever listened to a podcast where suddenly an ad is on that you're not interested in, it has nothing to do with a podcast topic. It looks like it's just been dropped on this podcast from Mars. And it's kind of like, why am I listening to this ad? And most podcasters don't really want that experience for their listeners because it's jarring. However, if the podcaster is able to, have ads that are actually helpful to their audience, actually relevant to what's being discussed, it's better for the listener, right? It's better for the advertiser, obviously, because it's going to convert better. And because it's better for the advertiser, it's also better for the podcaster because the podcaster can make more money. So that topical analysis combined with what we know about the audience completely changes the game of contextual targeted advertising in a way that everybody can win, right? It's a better listener experience or viewer experience. Podcasters can make money for the first time, and advertisers can make more money than they would have before. And so everybody wins.
It's a win-win, and that's what it's all about.
That's the kind of business I like to create, James. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know. My theory is, and this has nothing to do with AI, but my theory is business, we're at a kind of a change, and we're living right on the knife edge of that change right now, where I believe that the best businesses in the future are going to be ones, and now, but especially into the future, are going to be those that are really taking a more holistic view of their impact on the community, their impact on the team, their impact on the world, on the planet, all of these things kind of consciously, and looking for solutions that are more from an abundance mindset than a scarcity mindset. And what I mean by that, abundance mindset is one of Podopolo's highest values, which we seek to operationalize in everything we do. And so what that means is a team where everybody is excited for somebody else's success, not threatened by it. It means that we're all kind of lifting as we climb, which is something, and a phrase I use about my podcast, Wings of Inspired Business for Women Entrepreneurs, but how to be in that abundance mindset. But it also means when you're structuring a deal for like a customer or maybe a bigger kind of enterprise type software deal or whatever it is, making sure that everybody wins. Is everybody better off as a result of this? rather than the zero-sum game inspired by the way business used to do, which I'm convinced was inspired by books like The Art of War, rather than a more collaborative, inclusive kind of attitude where the entire community wins, not just one person or, and whatnot. So that's very much to do with the ethos of Podopolo. And why that's important to us is with AI, we take ethics around AI extremely seriously, as much as we do the privacy of all of our users, which is not really protected on platforms like Facebook or Spotify or others. So this is really important, how to do these analytics, how to do all this stuff while safeguarding not only the content creator and their copyright, their rights to their content, but also user identity, protecting them from the more pernicious aspects of AI, everything from deep fakes to disinformation, for all these things. And so it behooves anyone working in the AI space to have that ethical approach. I'm happy to
hold that thought.
Okay.
But I'm excited. I'm excited about everything that we're talking about here today. And I know you are as well, especially for your podcast. So planning on being, this young lady right here is putting it out there. And I tell you, I'm on board. You need to be on board too. You got to take a station break. You want to be part of the conversation, not too late. All you have to do is go to the platform that you're watching or something, listen to something, or pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. KCBQ to answer. FM 96.1, AM 1170 is your life. Let's see this chart.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. I'm just excited. First of all, that I got this young lady here.
I like that you say young.
President president CEO of Podopolo, and the company up and growing. I've been affiliated with her, I think, for almost 2 years now, Melinda.
From the early days when this was just, a little bit more than a back of the envelope scratch idea, but I mean, we have 7 proprietary technologies now. It takes a while, to build that, you know what I mean? Like, and so, and we have such an ambitious product roadmap too, for all the things we want to do, so like our work is never done.
Work is never done. Plus,
it's never done.
Evolve, and a lot of people think that things just happen right now, but it's not going to evolve into this. And as you mentioned, when we was in the green room a while back, many businesses, startup, they fall in the first 60, 70 days because they don't have that thing called stickability.
Yeah.
Stickability meaning that when something goes wrong, and first thing, I got to start over. I don't want to do this. Let me come up with another idea. Sometimes stickability, I believe, is we all going to fail. We all going to make mistakes. But if you got your heart into something, and regardless of what the outcome might look like, if your heart is still in it, you got to stick around.
Oh my goodness, 100%, James. I joke that if you want therapy, become an entrepreneur. Okay. And here's why, is because it's going to confront you with any limiting belief you've ever had, any of that kind of subconscious stuff deep, those icebergs deep within all of us, the stuff that we took on board when we were small children before we had like a frontal lobe, all these limiting things and all the different influences on society of society that tell us to play a small game. Or lead to all the self-recrimination and self-judgment and such, or unworthiness to go do this. So entrepreneurship is going to challenge you with all those things. There are going to be naysayers along the way that think you're crazy, right? I don't know how many times I've been called, it doesn't matter. Right? All the times where you have a strong hypothesis and you could be really right, but the timing is wrong, or things that you can't control, like you can only really control your own actions and reactions. And so when those things present challenges that you didn't foresee, it's what you do with those. So I think being an entrepreneur is like being an alchemist. I mean, you have these constant challenges and constant things, but that's just part of the journey. And it's really a whole series of little micro failures of all sorts, right? And it's like sort of like failing upwards. And the more you can come to terms with that really all that failure is feedback. A great analogy would be a scientist in a lab, inventing a new drug or penicillin or something like that, right? Inventing electricity, for instance. You try a whole bunch of different ways until you get it, right? And it takes
until you get it right. Until you get it right. And we got a call on the line. We got a call on the line.
Fantastic.
Hey, Steve, are you there?
I'm here. How are you?
How are you doing, sir? How are you doing?
Recognize this voice.
I'm doing fantastic. Yeah, well, it's a tremendous opportunity to chat with you.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to disclose, I think this person is Steve Little, and I think he's the board chairman of Podopolo. I'm just going to wager a guess. That's your identity.
You're cheating. You're stealing my thunder. Hey, look, I just wanted to call in and, I mean, obviously I support Melinda. I think I tell people I'm unabashed about this, James. She's without a doubt the best CEO I've ever worked with. And what she's building, it's an absolutely extraordinary innovation that will change the media business at large. I mean, it's starting with podcasting, but it's so much bigger than that. And, there's so much happening. and so many opportunities being generated with the addition of AI and the blockchain technology that she's innovated in this space. You know, I mean, it's just really a great opportunity to work with her. And I do want to share, if I could, you know, we've got a bunch of companies in my portfolio. I'm an investor and an investment banker. And, you know, we make a recommendation to all of our investment banking clients that are looking to accelerate the value of their business to launch a podcast. And of course, with my involvement with Podopolo, we obviously recommend that they engage Podopolo's brand studio and use the podcasting platform. And I can tell you from firsthand experience with those companies that not only do they grow audience 1,000 times faster than they would otherwise, but they generate an enormous amount of revenue for their companies, and they accelerate the valuation growth of their business by orders of magnitude. So it has an enormously significant effect on a podcaster's life. Even an individual that's out there trying to carve it out, all of a sudden they're in a position to actually make some pretty serious money with the amount of traffic and the amount of interest that they can generate using the platform. And then, of course, for the corporate podcasters, it becomes a main line of their advertising budget and the main line of their revenue. So it's just fantastic to see an innovation like this have the impact it's having on the marketplace.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
And Steve, if I can say a little something, like I said, I've been associated with Melinda for almost 2 years, and just to see the evolution, just to see the growth, just to see all of these great things that she's doing and where the company is going, I'm on board. I mean, I am on board, and my intention is to get my other host on board, because everything that I know about this great young lady right here is tremendous, and to have board members like you, investors like you, to come on the air and say what you just said, because your heart got to be in it as well. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it. Can
I just say we're really blessed to have Steve too, because he didn't tell you about his background, but I'm just going to say, I'm going to brag on you, Steve, for a moment, because, Steve launched his first business when he was 13, James, and he sold it at age 15. In today's dollars, it would have been like $2.5 million. And went on to create a whole series of technology businesses, all exited out at like high 9 figures and such. And now really devotes his life and his mission to helping founders and CEOs like me, whatever stage of business or whatever type of business, really maximize the value of that business by really focusing on what's providing the most value. And it's very important, because a lot of entrepreneurs think only about, like, I'm just going to be measured by revenue alone. And that's not really good. Or you could measure by profits. And something I was saying in that last the segment that we did about social impact, for instance, and all these other things, those really grow the value of your business. So it's very, Steve is a big proponent of doing well by doing good. And any question that I ever have about anything, like Steve's been there, done that, built that, knows somebody who has, you know what I mean? It's just like an amazing font of knowledge. And thanks for mentioning Brand Studio, Steve, because we're actually in the process of creating Steve's podcast, which is really great. It's called Zero Limits Business Growth Secrets. And that's going to be launching on January 25th. Very exciting podcast. So I'm excited to do that for you, Steve.
Well, I would love to have Steve on my show.
He should come on your show. He'll blow your mind. I mean, apart from the fact that he's like a conscious person too. So if you want to know about like ancient Hawaiian wisdom and Ho'oponopono or all sorts of stuff, you can talk about that too. Yeah.
Hey, so we're almost out of time. Steve, great. I would love to have you on the show. Melinda,
I'd be happy to do it. Happy to do it anytime. Please
pass on my information if you get an opportunity.
I will. I'll introduce you both.
So I tell you, this has been an absolutely wonderful show. And any departing words, Melinda?
Well, I just want to invite everybody to check out Podopolo, and you can always find me. I'm sort of ubiquitous everywhere on social media. Any questions you have, and happy to help you if you're a podcaster or thinking about being a podcaster.
Yes. Hey, Melinda, let's talk. Stick around for a little bit, please. At least 1 minute. I like to thank Melinda for taking the time to come on the show. I'd like to thank my great producer, Todd Pirek at AM 1170 Answer, FM 96.1, and all other things. Most importantly, I'd like to thank my beautiful wife, Michelle, for putting together another show. That's what an executive producer does. But most importantly, I got to thank you, the viewers, the listeners, for tuning in to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow.
Thanks for joining us for the James Cooley Show. It's your life. To learn more about Dr. James Cooley and how you can support the show or become a guest, visit CooleyFoundation.org. Join James for more motivation and inspiration to help you become equipped today for the challenges of tomorrow. This has been It's Your Life with Dr. James Cooley, where you learn how to dream big, think big, and be big in everything you do.
It's Your Life is sponsored by
Melinda, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, I think we kind of took a hit on the internet portion of it, but absolutely fantastic show. I would love to hook up with your team to talk about some of these things and also a RSS feed.
Yeah. So are you on a hosting platform right now, James?
Only the radio station.
Yeah. So what we need to do is you would need to be on a host platform. And I have a really good suggestion for you. We partner with a company called Podopolo. So I'm going to introduce you to Rob Winter at Podopolo. And Podopolo is a hosting platform that fully integrates with Podopolo. So, and also they're going to be leveraging our AI and all our stuff as well. And so I know all the people I need to introduce you to.
Yes. I mean, we need to do this because I'm a hosting platform with the radio station, but then I was syndicated. I've cut down to 1 day a week. And the only time that they post my stuff is when it's on the radio. I want to be able to post. I got a show every day.
Yeah.
I want to be able to post my show every day on the RSS feed. I don't know how difficult, how much this team that you got costs.
Not for hosting. I think right now with Podopolo, it really just depends on how many shows you have in any given week, but it's not going to cost you more than $20 a month, maybe.
No. I would do that. I mean, that's not even the answer. But I mean, I don't know if we can lock them in as a feed, a live feed, or however they want to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. So I can check, because normally the way most hosting works is like, say, once this is no longer live and you have like presumably a video or an audio file, the minute that's done, it would just be uploaded to a hosting platform, right?
Case in point.
Yeah.
My show, we just went off a minute ago. It's already on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, everything right now.
Yeah, so you already have all the distribution to all of those places, but is it on Apple? Is it on Spotify?
It's on Apple. It's on Spotify. It's on every.
Okay, so you must have it. You must have an RSS feed then.
RSS feed, but I don't have one myself. These are other platforms like the radio station, like E360.
I'm just checking Podopolo right now to see if you're there because
Podopolo, last show that I checked before I came on, the last time you guys had me was March 6 months ago, almost a year ago. And I was like a little disappointed. That's they don't forgot about me.
I know something might be just happening with it. Okay, so it sounds like there's a technical. We need to know more about technically what's going on. So if there's someone on your team that can tell us how, because you wouldn't be on Apple if you didn't have an RSS feed, and so or Spotify, because you need that to be on those platforms.
Yeah, but we on those platforms, Apple, Spotify, through the radio station.
Oh, I see. Okay, so I get it. So it sounds to me, I don't know this to be true, but it sounds to me like the radio station is then creating an RSS feed for you and distributing it. So if that's the case, what we need to do is make sure that we get that RSS feed.
Yes, but that's only for one day of when I'm on the radio.
Okay.
Now, I am live. I'm on every day.
Oh, are you on YouTube every day?
Every day. Every single day.
I think YouTube now has functionality that allows you to create an RSS feed from your podcast on YouTube. I think they just recently announced that, like maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. But we can look into that for you. So
hold on 1 second, please. Hold on.
Okay.
Because I know I got a doctor's appointment. Hold on. Hello?
I gotta jump too because I got a call in a minute, but I'm gonna introduce you to Steve.
Okay. Let's see. I got it. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Doc just sent me a link. Let me see. Make sure. Hey, Melinda, can you put your number in the text? Can I call you back?
Yeah, I've got a call I've got to do. So what we can do is, but just so you have, this is my cell. But I'm jumping straight into another call in 2 minutes. But we can I'm going to email you right now before ahead of that call with all the information, and we'll set up a time to talk. Okay. And
but if you can email me.
I'm going to email you. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll copy Michelle too, so she has all the information.
Okay. And if possible, I'll get back in touch with you later.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, I just got this crazy day. I'm like going from meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting all day. It's like the entrepreneur thing. I see. This is why I haven't even brushed my hair yet today, so it's a little frightening. Anyway.
Hello, I did not get the link from the doctor.
You didn't get a text message either, or an email?
Let's see about the text message. And I'm sorry, Melinda. I got okay, I did get the text message.
All right, you go ahead and log in that way because we don't want to happen what happened yesterday. So
I'm doing it now.
Go ahead and start logging in now. You'll be placed in the waiting room, and he's going to be with you soon. Okay.
Okay, I got it. I just checked in. I don't know what happened yesterday. Okay.
Okay, James. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Testing.